This is part 3 in our series looking at 10 of the biggest sins in the religion of Islam. Welcome back guys to FTD Facts. My name is Leroy Kenton and I know different background. I'm out of town for a few days, hopefully, so I'm not in my regular self-isolation headquarters. Hopefully I'll be back there soon. But for now, you're stuck with a concrete wall in a basement. Anyways guys, so in the religion of Islam, there are many sins, and by the time we're at the end of this episode, we'll have seen 30 so far. So let's just start off with sin number 10 in this episode, being a perpetual liar. This is spoken about in the Quran in Surah 3 verses 61, and it says, "Then whoever argues with you about it after this knowledge has come to you, say, 'Come, let us call our sons and your sons, our women and your women, ourselves and yourselves, then supplicate earnestly together and invoke the curse of Allah upon the liars among us.'" Number 9 is ruling by ungodly law, and this is found in the Quran Surah 5 verses 44. "Indeed, we sent down the Torah, in which was guidance and light. The prophets who submitted to Allah judged by it for the Jews, as did the rabbis and the scholars, by that with which they were entrusted of the scripture of Allah. And they were witnesses thereto. So do not fear the people, but fear me, and do not exchange my verses for a small price. And whoever does not judge by what Allah has revealed, then it is those who are the disbelievers." Making false oaths is also a big sin in the religion of Islam. According to the Hadith, the Prophet Muhammad was believed to have said these words: "If someone is ordered to take an oath and he takes a false oath in order to take possession of property of a Muslim, then he will incur Allah's wrath when he meets him." And that's from the Sahih al-Jami, number 6083. Misappropriating war booty comes in at number 7. And by the way, booty refers to the spoils that are recovered from a war. This is spoken of in Surah 3 verses 161 in the Quran. "It is not attributable to any prophet that he would act unfaithfully in regard to war booty. And whoever betrays, taking unlawfully, will come with what he took on the day of resurrection. Then will every soul be fully compensated for what it earned, and they will not be wronged." A big sin in the religion of Islam also is the oppression by a ruler. And this is from the Sahih al-Bukhari, volume 9, hadith 7150. "I heard the Prophet saying, 'Any man who Allah has given the authority of ruling some people and he does not look after them in an honest manner, he will never smell the fragrance of paradise.'" And just like that, guys, we reached halfway in this episode. We got 5 more sins to look at. Yeah, 25 total. Now, before we get into the last 5, it's just a reminder to leave a like on this episode. It really helps more people see our videos. Also, if this is your first time here to FTD Facts, welcome. But also hit that subscribe button and ring that bell. That way you won't miss any of our daily episodes. So come back every single day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, to learn something new about our world, the people in it, religion, countries, culture, and more. The sin at number 5 now that we're going to look at is fleeing from jihad. Now, in this context, I gotta be clear, jihad refers to a battle for the cause of Allah. This is a specific context it's talking about. In Surah 8 verses 15 to 16 in the Quran, it says this: "O you who have believed, when you meet those who disbelieve, advancing for battle, do not turn to them your backs in flight. And whoever turns his back to them on such a day, unless swerving as a strategy for war or joining another company, has certainly returned with anger upon him from Allah. And his refuge is hell, and the wretched is the destination." Number 4 was also a surprising one for me to find out: taking or paying interest. And this is found in Surah 2 verses 275. "Those who consume interest cannot stand on the day of resurrection, except as one stands who is being beaten by Satan into insanity. That is because they say trade is just like interest, but Allah has permitted trade and has forbidden interest. So whoever has received an admonition from his Lord and desists may have what is past, and his affairs rest with Allah. But whoever returns to dealing in interest or usury," which is another term for interest, by the way, "those are the companions of the fire. They will abide eternally therein." The sin at number 3 is eating pork. Now, this is specifically found in Surah 5 verses 13. And that goes as follows: "Prohibited to you are dead animals, blood, the flesh of swine, and that which has been dedicated to other than Allah. And those animals killed by strangling, or by a violent blow, or by a headlong fall, or by the goring of horns, and those from which a wild animal has eaten, except what you are able to slaughter before its death, and those which are sacrificed on stone altars. And prohibited is that you seek decision through divining arrows. That is grave disobedience. We're almost at the end of this episode. Moving on to sin number 2. Women and men appearing like each other. According to the hadith, the Prophet Muhammad said these words: Allah's curse is upon women who appear like men and upon men who appear like women. And that's in the Sahih al-Jami number 4976. And the last sin we're looking at in this episode at number 1 is making statues and pictures. And now this one is big, especially making statues or pictures of prophets in Islam. Now in the hadith that's narrated by Abdullah ibn Umar, it says this: Allah's messenger said, those who make these images will be punished on the day of resurrection, and it will be said to them, make alive what you have created. So that wraps up part 3 of 10 of the biggest sins in Islam. That's 30 sins total. Be sure to let me know your thoughts and comments down below. If you want to see any more of these videos, can we continue this series? That will all depend on what you guys want to see next. Anyways guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna be working on some more videos for you guys. Hopefully I can get back to my regular filming setup as soon as possible. But either way, find me on social media. My links are down below. Also, I'll leave you with a recommended episode that's gonna be at the end screen, so tap the annotation once you see it. And I'll see you guys real soon in another episode.